Hi, welcome to the first tutorial on how to use Google Forms. In this first tutorial, this first video, we are going to be looking at how students can use Google Forms in the classroom as a survey tool among their peers, the school, or even the wider community. In the second video, we're going to look at how teachers can use Google Forms as a form of assessment. Let's get into it. First of all, you'll notice that we are in Google Tools Resource Pack. This is a pack that you've been provided, and in there is a step-by-step instructions folder. If you open that folder, you'll notice that there are some handouts here, as well as a couple of links to the videos which have yet to be created. Also, there is a folder called Example Forms. There's nothing in here currently at the moment, and we're going to create those today, and you'll be able to come back to those later to view and just remember what you've done, or what we've done together in this video. Alright, so first of all, to create your form, go across to the left-hand side where the big red button is that says Create. This will provide you a selection of different options when you click it. Just make sure that you get the right one, as Google Forms has the same logo as Spreadsheet. So just click Google Form. Alright, for us today, because we've got a shared folder, it's asking if we want to share the item we're about to create. And obviously we want to share it with you, so we're going to click Create and Share. That may not come up for you. When you click that, or when you've clicked Forms, you'll notice that a new tab comes up. The existing Google Drive tab is still open, but it's just created a new tab for the new form that we're about to create. I do apologise for the speed of this computer, so if things seem a little bit sluggish today, don't worry, there's nothing wrong with your computer. Okay, let's have a look. It's just finishing loading now, and you'll notice along the top there is File, Edit, View, Insert Response, a bunch of other menus that look quite similar to most other Microsoft products. But this is Google Forms and it is online. So make sure that your internet connection is good. Alright, also at the top you've got here a bunch of settings which we'll look at later when we come to completing our Google form. You've got Untitled Form because it doesn't have a name, and you'll notice that the first question, the first part of your form is already being generated for you, but we'll first of all give this form a name. For the example survey that we're going to use today, we're going to pretend like the students are wanting to find out what is the best flavour ice cream sundae that they could make for the school. So let's just call it ice cream sundae for school. Alright. So in the ice cream sundae there's going to be a bunch of different things. There's going to be an ice cream flavour, there's going to be a sauce flavour, and there's going to be a topping type or flavour as well. So the first question here we may as well use, and the first question in this Google form, which is essentially a survey, is what is your favourite ice cream flavour? Question mark. Right, I spelled a couple of things wrong there. Not American. Alright, so now that we've given the question a title, if you want to provide any helpful text underneath it, a reminder or something like that, you can, but for this one we're not going to. And then the question type has already selected multi-choice. Now you can change what kind of question you want, whether you want it to be a checkbox or a paragraph or inputting text, those kind of things. But we're going to leave it as multi-choice because we don't want them to come up with every single flavour in the world. And we're going to select a number of different flavours. So let's choose the first option. We'll change the option 1 there to be French vanilla. Alright, now to create the next flavour, you simply click in the box underneath it, and you'll notice that one turns blue, provides option 2, and then the next box underneath it is greyed out. So we can continue just to keep adding the boxes underneath each other, different options and choices. Alright, so the next one is going to be my favourite, jelly tip. The next one, we'll click in there to create a third option. We'll see good old chocolate. And maybe we'll do one more We'll go Goody Gumdrop. Great. Now that's done, we can click on Advanced Settings to find some more things out, but what I want to show you is a required question. Now if you select this box here, it means that students cannot complete this form or this survey without selecting one of the 4 options. I think that's fair enough, so I'm going to check that. A little tick will appear, and then I press Done. Alright, so our first question has come up. What is your favourite ice cream flavour? And it's got the 4 selections there. Now to go on to your favourite sauce, we need to add another question. So to do that, I click Add Item here. There's a little arrow down the side. Now if you click Add Item, it will do the last one that you last created. It will copy that. It won't copy the options or selections in it, but the type here. I'm just going to show you by clicking the arrow on the right hand side that you can choose from the different types of things there. There's a whole bunch. And as before, there's check boxes. You can just simply add an image, maybe for the start or the end of your form. Videos, you can put a date in there, that kind of thing. Let's just go multi-choice again. Keep it simple. Alright, so underneath our first question, a second question has come up, and we're editing that one. This question is, what is your favourite sauce? What is your favourite sauce? Once again, there's conflict at spelling. We'll just get rid of that. Question mark. Okay, once again, the same deal. So let's put in our options here. Clicking in option 1, selects the text already for me to write over. Chocolate. Okay, clicking the box underneath it. Strawberry. Another good flavour. And the last flavour is the old caramel. Alright, we've got our 3 flavours there, and that's enough for me. Once again, I'm going to click the box that makes this question required. I'm going to go Done. Alright, and the last thing I want to add is the toppings. So let's just show you that if you click the Add Item without clicking the arrow, it by default brings up multi-choice because that's what we used last. Alright, so what is your... Let's just try and keep the spelling happy this time. Favourite topping? Question mark. Alright, once again we're going to go multi-choice, just because this is a simple tutorial. Our first option is going to be chocolate hail. Second option is going to be hundreds and thousands. Third option is going to be rainbow sprinkles. And the last option, we're going to provide the option of nothing. Okay, just in case someone doesn't want sprinkles. Alright, once again, we're going to make that question required. So that way they can't complete the form without providing all the information we want. And then go Done. So let's have a look at what we've done here. Alright, this is our first form. 1 page only. Ice Cream Sundaes for Schools is our title. We've got our 3 questions with the multi-choice answers there. And that is it. Let's go back to the top and see what settings we've got here. Form settings. Show progress bar at the bottom of the pages. If you were to have multiple pages, then this would provide just a little bar that goes across as you complete each page, just so you know how you're doing and how far you've gone through. Obviously not applicable for this one. The next thing is only allow 1 response per person. This means that they can't keep coming in and voting for their favourite things. And that is restricted by their Google account. So it knows who they are. The next one here is shuffle question orders. So if you had a bunch of different questions and you wanted them to be randomly asked, then you could shuffle them. This here is a nice flow. I don't think we want to shuffle that. Alright, at the bottom of the page, you'll see confirmation page. When they've successfully submitted this, a page will come up saying yes, they've successfully submitted it, and this gives you some options here. Your response has been recorded. That's the default message that comes up. We could put something else like, thank you. We hope you will enjoy the Sundays. Alright. You can also show the link to submit another response, which obviously we do not want them to do. We want to publish or show the public link to the results. So if we want them to see the results, then we can allow them to see those results. Or you can allow them to edit, which I think we can allow them to edit. But I think only submitting once is probably a good idea. So let's go up the top and check only one response. Alright, that's looking pretty good. You can also change the layout as far as themes goes. So to do that, go across to view up the top and then go down to change theme, the third option in the list there. And on the right hand side you get a bunch of different themes that come up. There's all sorts of cars, castle, buildings, that kind of thing. And some really neat little education ones, sciencey, that kind of thing. But I saw one right at the top that looked kind of fun, and that was a carnival. So let's click on that. It shows you a quick little preview. That's great. Now if you really want to know what your form is going to look like to the person that is viewing it, there's a button up the top there, kind of towards the middle of the page. It says View Live Form. And if you click that, it's essentially actually opening up the form itself. If you record any data, it's going to be recorded, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so here comes the page. Great. Ice cream sundaes for school. Everything is required pretty much, so let's go through and complete the survey just as an example. What is your favourite ice cream flavour? Well, we know that, that's jelly tip. What's your favourite sauce? Ooh, I'm a bit of a fruity man, I do like strawberry. What is your favourite topping? I don't really like crunchy bits, so I'm going to go nothing. Great. So then I submit it, and this should see our custom message that comes up for submitting the form. Here we go. Ice cream sundaes for school. Thank you. We hope you enjoy your sundaes. Right, and we can edit our response. That's pretty good for me. So I'm just going to close out of that new tab that was created, which will take me back to the form there. Great. Now you'll notice that if you've changed your theme, it puts you in a place where it shows you what the theme looks like, but you can't edit the questions. To do that, you need to go up to the top, and you'll see that there is sort of a dark grey box around Change Theme, and to the left of it there is an unselected box called Edit Questions. You kind of change between the two, and so if we click Edit Questions, that will allow us to go back to the standard form. Now bear in mind that the theme looks like it's disappeared, but it is still there. This is a handy way of seeing what your form is going to look like without actually having to go and view the live form. Either way works, but if you click Change Theme, that'll show you the theme and give you a rough idea of what it's going to look like. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's go and see the data now. We go back to Edit Questions. I like to keep that in my home. Alright, so if we look up the top here, underneath the title where those menus are, there's one called Responses, and in brackets there is the little number 1. Now that means that one person has filled out our survey, which was us when we went through and did that example when we were viewing it in that live form. If I click on that, it gives me a number of different options. I can turn off accepting responses. So when you've finished your survey or your voting or whatever it is that you're using Google Forms for, you can choose to turn off the voting so people can't come in and create more data or fill out the survey or the form. I'm going to leave it open for now because it doesn't bother me. But also down there is a summary of responses, view responses, change response destinations. Let's have a look at view responses, but I'll show you another way also that we can get there. there is a default button here next to where the Change Theme button is, called View Responses. Now what that's going to do is that's going to open up the data that was generated and saved in a spreadsheet file. That uses Google Spreadsheet to do that. Here we go. So first of all, you'll notice that the titles along the top here are a little bit squished in because it's just a spreadsheet. So if you want to view them all, then you can drag these boxes a bit bigger, but we kind of know them already, so let's have a look. First of all, this is the time and the date that it was recorded. What was your favourite ice cream? Jelly tip. What was your favourite sauce? Strawberry. What's your favourite topping? Nothing. That's perfect. And as more people fill out this survey, this form, lots more data will come down this way, down through the columns, depending on how many students you have filling it out, of course. And then you can count them up and choose which is the best Sundae to make for your school. Alright, just while we're looking at the data, if we go back to our Google Drive, in that folder we'll notice that there is now 2 files created. The first one is Ice Cream Sundaes for School. That is the Google form, and if you look at the logos, they are slightly different. This one here with the 2 little lines is your form logo, and the one underneath it says Ice Cream Sundaes for Schools responses. That's the data that we've got open over here in this second tab here that opened up. Okay, let's close out of that. Just a little tip there, if you don't like the data that's being created, it is fine. You can actually delete that data by deleting the file if you want to, or by going into the spreadsheet and deleting the rows. Now, if you delete this particular document that's got all your data, when you go back into your Ice Cream Sundae here, it will eventually update to say 0 responses, and in fact, to record any more responses, you need to create a response destination. So that's just a little tip there for the pros. So there we go, there's Google Forms, students being able to use that, create surveys, whether it be for science projects or just any particular thing in the school you want them to do. There's all sorts of things. You can do voting, anything where you collect data. Alright, that finishes our first tutorial on how to use Google Forms. For more information and to look at how teachers can use Google Forms for assessment, click the second link that's in that resource pack for the videos, and I'll show you how you can use it for assessment, whether it be maths or whatever. So thanks very much.